Today is Monday, May 4th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Out of the Big Book, we are on Chapter 8, Two Whys. We'll read page 110. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition number 2. We'll be reading page 132, I believe. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, I hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Today is a very special day for a variety of reasons. One, it's Star Wars Day. May 4th, may the 4th be with you. Real quick about Star Wars, if you'll just humor me for a minute or two. When I was a kid, I'll never forget, my neighbor, Dave, he used to have this huge record collection. And I would look through it, and that's how I found a lot of the 80s metal bands that I fell in love with. But he also had this giant record that I thought it was called Empire Strikes Back, and it had a killer cover. So finally I was like, hey Dave, can we play this one? I've never heard this one. He goes, oh, that's Star Wars. I said, what? And he had Laserdisc back then. So we put on Empire Strikes Back, and I'll never forget thinking to myself, holy cow, the special effects. I was blown away. The battle on Hoth and everything. And then sure enough, a little bit later, of course I didn't quite understand the story or anything. A little later, when I'm a teenager, there was a TV show called Dinner and a Movie, and they played the original Star Wars movie and had a bunch of Star Wars themed recipes they were working on. And that's when I finally got it. Well, that's my cat. That's when I finally got it, and I've been in love with the Star Wars ever since. And speaking of Star Wars, and cue my cat in the background. So this little over a year ago, I was taking the trash out early in the morning, and as I'm rolling the garbage bin out, I see something fluttering by my foot. And I look down, and right at our little mulch bed by our street light, I see something. And at first I thought it was a bird. And I look a little closer, and it's a kitten. And this is probably late May at this point. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a kitten out here. So I'm looking for the mama. There's no mama. And my wife's not crazy about cats. I had to beg her for our first one, Ahsoka. Star Wars name, by the way. So I bring this little kitty cat inside because I knew if I just show her the kitten, she can't say no. See, I know how to work these things. So sure enough, I bring this little gray cat inside. And I mean, this thing was tiny. And I said, hey, I found this outside. I looked for a mama. I can't find one. What do you say we try to take care of her for a little bit? Keep it temporary, right? One day at a time. And we fell in love with her. We eventually found out that she was only about 3 weeks old. So we decided to consider her birthday to be Star Wars Day. And of course, I've named my cats in the past after Star Wars characters. Luke and Leia, they were my first cats I had when I was out on my own. And then eventually we got Ahsoka, and now we have Rey, R-E-Y, Rey. It was going to be, if it was a boy, it was Anakin. If it was a girl, it was going to be Rey. So all the background noises that you hear, that's Rey. And Ahsoka just stares at her and puts her up to all these things. But anyway, with that huge prelude, I hope y'all are doing well this morning. I hope the force is with you, and let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading, we've been talking about 4 different types of alcoholics that these wives might have been married to. And when we left off with one was the heavy drinker. 2 is borderline, and now is having a hard time controlling it. And now we're going to talk about 3 and 4. So bottom of 109 and 110. 3. This husband has gone much further than husband number 2. Though once like number 2, he became worse. His friends have slipped away. His home is a near wreck, and he cannot hold a position. Maybe the doctor's been called in, and the weary round of sanitariums and hospitals has begun. He admits he cannot drink like other people, but does not see why. He clings to the notion that he will yet find a way to do so. He may have come to the point where he desperately wants to stop, but cannot. His case presents additional questions, which we shall try to answer for you. you can be quite hopeful of a situation like this. 4. You may have a husband of whom you completely despair. He has been placed in one institution after another. He is violent, or appears definitely insane when drunk. Sometimes he drinks on the way home from the hospital. Perhaps he has had delirium tremens. Doctors may shake their heads and advise you to have him committed. Maybe you've already been obliged to put him away. This picture may not be as dark as it looks. Many of our husbands were just as far gone, yet they got well. Let's now go back to husband number 1. Oddly enough, he is often difficult to deal with. He enjoys drinking. It stirs his imagination. His friends feel closer over a highball. Perhaps you enjoy drinking with him yourself when he doesn't go too far. You've passed happy evenings together, chatting and drinking before your fire. Perhaps you both like the parties, which would be dull without liquor. We've enjoyed such evenings ourselves. We had a good time. We know all about liquor as a social lubricant. Some, but not all of us, think it has its advantages when reasonably used. Out of the 12 and 12 run, Tradition 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. Where does AA get its direction? Who runs it? This, too, is a puzzler for every friend and newcomer. When told that our society has no precedent having authority to govern it, no treasurer who can compel the payment of any dues, no board of directors who can cast an erring member in outer darkness, when indeed, no AA can give another a directive and enforce obedience, our friends gasp and exclaim, "This simply can't be. There must be an angle somewhere." These practical folk then read Tradition 2 and learn that the sole authority in AA is a loving God as he may express himself in the group conscience. They dubiously ask an experienced AA member if this really works. The member, saying to all appearances, immediately answers, "Yes, it definitely does." The friends mutter that this looks vague, nebulous, pretty naive to them. Then they commence to watch us with speculative eyes, pick up a fragment of AA history, and soon have the solid facts. What are these facts of AA life which brought us to this apparently impractical principle? John Doe, a good AA, moves, let us say, to Middletown, USA. Alone now, he reflects that he might not be able to stay sober or even alive unless he passes on to another alcoholic what was so freely given to him. He feels a spiritual and ethical compulsion because hundreds may be suffering within reach of his help. Then too, he misses his home group. He needs other alcoholics as much as they need him. He visits preachers, doctors, editors, policemen, and bartenders, with the result that Middletown now has a group, and he is the founder. "24 hours a day, May 4th. AA thought for the day. When I was drinking, I always tried to build myself up. I used to tell tall stories about myself. I told them so often that I half believe some of them now, even though I know they're not true. I used to hang around the low-brow bar rooms so that I could feel superior to other customers. The reason I always tried to build myself up was that I knew deep down in my heart that I really didn't amount to anything. It was kind of a defense against my feeling of inferiority. Do I still build myself up? Meditation for the day. God thought about the universe and brought it into being. His thoughts brought me into being. I must think God's thoughts after him. I must often keep my mind occupied with thoughts about God and meditate on the way that he wants me to live. I must train my mind constantly in quiet times of communion with God. It is the work of a lifetime to develop the full stature of spirituality. This is what I'm on earth for. It gives meaning to my life. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may think God's thoughts after Him. I pray that I may live as He wants me to live. Daily reflection, May 4th. Entirely honest. We must be entirely honest with somebody if we expect to live long or happily in this world. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 73 and 74. Honesty, like all virtues, is to be shared. It began after I shared my whole life story with someone in order to find my place in the fellowship. Later, I shared my life in order to help the newcomer find his place with us. This sharing helps me learn honesty in all my dealings and to know that God's plan for me comes true through honest openness and willingness. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. It's some beautiful stuff as always. My goodness. What's really standing out to me today is the 24 hours a day. Right here, building ourselves up, right? The reason I always tried to build myself up was that I knew deep down in my heart that I really didn't amount to anything. That was me. I felt that. I felt like because I didn't become that writer that I wanted to be as a kid, that I was a failure. And I started drinking and making some selfish decisions while drinking, blacking out, hating myself the next day. And I really felt like a failure. And then a little further down in the meditation, God thought about the universe and brought it into being. His thought brought me into being. And I don't think about that enough, that I'm a creation of my higher power. I must think God's thought after Him, and I must often keep my mind occupied with those thoughts about God and meditate on the way that He wants me to live. And I like that. That's a big part of step 3, making that decision, turn my will and my life over to Him. I like this next line. I must train my mind to work constantly in quiet times of communion with God. Practice, right? Practicing prayer and meditation. And it takes work. Training is work. It is the work of a lifetime to develop to full stature spiritually. This is what I am on earth for. I've said it many times. I thought I was a failure. Because I didn't achieve what my expectations were. But here's the cool thing. There were so many curveballs in life that I never saw coming. Like if God came to me and said, hey, Rob, by the way, you are going to become an alcoholic, but don't worry, I'm going to use you to try to help some people. I would be like, what? I never saw that coming, right? Although I should have. My biological father struggled with addiction, and there's some on my mom's side as well. But I just didn't see that coming. And somehow, on the other side of that, in sobriety, this reading is so true. It's the work of a lifetime to develop to full stature spiritually. This is what I am on earth for, and it gives meaning to my life. I really feel like maybe this is what I'm here for. It gives me great joy to try to help somebody else. And that's what the big book was talking about, Anytime we serve others, somehow, as a byproduct, we feel peace. The St. Francis prayer, when I love and forgive others, somehow I receive that. What a great paradox. And all the things that I thought I did wrong. To quote Master Yoda for Star Wars Day, failure, the greatest teacher is. Okay. Failure, the greatest teacher is. Sorry, that was terrible. But my point is, like, even all the things that I thought were horrible in my life, and I put that in air quotes, I've learned my greatest lessons. I mean, that's where step one was born from. Realizing I can't do this anymore. I need help. That was the bedrock, man. That was the foundation of everything else that was to come. And the mistakes I make in the meantime in sobriety. There's always something to be learned. I've said it a million times, and it's like a mantra talking about training, right? Training my brain over and over again. But I try not to say I had a bad day anymore. I had a character building day. What can I learn from this? What did I learn about myself today that I can use to try to be better next time? It's a lifetime of training, but it's so worth it. And the gifts you receive along the way, oh man, have gone well past anything I could have ever imagined. So yeah, this windy way back home, it's been so worth it. And I feel like I'm finally starting to learn who I am. I'm a child of God, perfectly human. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for letting me ramble there. I hope you all have a great one. If you are sober, you're a miracle. And you're giving a great gift to those around you. And my cat in the background is very, very proud of you as well. And if you're not sober today, you're a miracle as well. And your life has worth and value. You are not a failure. So I just pray that you get the help that you need today. And my friends, if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.